I know there's some idiot YouTuber who called FC Eindhoven the world's most boring club.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, so what a clown, that guy.
Yeah.
So that was me. That was my video.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's boring?
So basically...
Wait. He's a big man. You called it boring, but still you came back.
Yeah.
So you liked it.
Yeah. A few months ago, I made a video about this club, FC Eindhoven, for HITC Sevens. Since then, it's been viewed about 150,000 times on YouTube and over 5 million times across all platforms. The video is titled The World's Most Boring Football Club, and it'd be fair to say it caused a bit of a stir among the locals.
Eindhoven is de saaiste club ter wereld. Althans, als we dit Britse YouTube-kanaal moeten geloven.
Why can't they get promoted or relegated? And did all of their supporters slip into a coma?
Pas begonnen, maar FC Eindhoven heeft al de eerste prijs te pakken. Ze zijn verkozen tot de saaiste club ter wereld. Dat is de conclusie van een populair Brits YouTube-kanaal. Superfan Henny is het daar niet mee eens.
FC Eindhoven is geen saaie club. Het is gezellig, het is een vrolijke club. Het is een familieclub. Mijn man is gecremeerd in een FC Eindhoven.
En dus heeft ze maar één boodschap aan dit YouTube-kanaal.
FC Eindhoven is geen saaie club. En als jullie er geld over hebben, dan geef het maar. Dan kunnen wij heel veel spelers van jullie kopen. Goed?
Hope I don't bump into her while I'm here. That news clip was from Omroep Brabant, the public broadcaster for the entire North Brabant province, that ran a news story about my silly little video. And some people, like that woman, weren't too pleased about my description of FC Eindhoven. I don't know why. But others took it in rather good spirits. There were some FC Eindhoven fans who created a banner which read "The World's Most Boring Football Club," which they brought to games, as you can see there. And I'm also reliably informed that there were stickers all around Eindhoven with the club's imagery and the world's most boring football club accompanying it. So, you know, I was the talk of the town, my video, for a little while here, and I'm hoping maybe to bump into those fans who responded to the video in amusing fashion. Also, the club themselves have tweeted me incessantly anytime they win a game or have a high scoring game. Anything that could be construed as not boring has drawn their wrath towards me, whether it be on Instagram, TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok, but apparently on there too. So a little bit like Michael Jordan in The Last Dance, it would be fair to say FC Eindhoven took it personally. I should actually say that wasn't the initial title of the video. Originally, the title of the video was "The Football Club That Never Gets Relegated or Promoted," or promoted or relegated, either way. But not that many of you watched it in the first hour, so I changed the title to something a bit more clickbait. Don't hate the player, hate the game. The video is just the same, but yeah. That change of title by me, in a desperate attempt really to claw in additional views, has led to a new nickname for this football club that was founded in 1909. Sometimes the power that I possess scares me. Well, I've come to Eindhoven to find out for myself, for their biggest game of the season against Helmond Sport. Best keep a low profile. So the plan this weekend was to come to both FC Eindhoven versus Helmond Sport, which is tonight, which is FC Eindhoven's biggest rivalry. And then tomorrow, PSV are at home against Ajax, first versus second in the Eredivisie, which is their biggest rivalry. But the tickets for this one were like £500, so I'm not doing that. And we're just going to go to the museum instead, which in some ways is better, and was only €7.50. So, you know, there's that too. PSV players over the years, of course, including Ruud Gullit, Ronald Koeman, Romario there, Ronaldo, the original R9, Jaap Stam, Ruud van Nistelrooy there coming into view. Yeah, they've had some decent players, we'll give them that. And as a result, they have been reasonably successful. Just the 25 Eredivisie titles, 11 KNVB Cups, and of course, the 1988 European Cup. But walking around it is beginning to feel like they're showing off a bit. I mean, they won't show up about it. FC Eindhoven, on the other hand, much more humble, with good reason, because they haven't won most of these things. Ronaldo's never played for them, Romario neither, nor Ruud van Nistelrooy, so it would be weird for them to be boastful about that. No. Some radical rebrands there. The two stars, incidentally, each one representing 10 Eredivisie titles, not the European Cup in 1988. Fact.
It's outrageous from Anderson, the pass, but the touch is just delightful.
Let it be known, this is why they won't invite me to Soccer Aid or the Sidemen charity game. They'll happily have YouTubers and former professionals, but apparently they won't have YouTubers who could have been professionals. Oh well, their loss, I suppose.
The European Cup, of course, which you can see PSV lifting there in 1988. People were much smaller in the 1980s because, as you can see in real life, perspective, it's tiny, but in 1988 that is just how small people were. Made it look a lot larger than it really is. No, it turns out I was wrong. That was a smaller replica earlier. It is actually quite big. People weren't that small in the 1980s. It's quite large actually, as you can see. Got last season's Eredivisie with a very handsome man in the reflection. The 1988 European Cup. The 1978 UEFA Cup, now the Europa League, of course. And quite a lot of Eredivisie titles, to be honest with you. And as Ash has just pointed out, just left 3 spare there. The arrogance of the man.
What's the point? What is the point of talking to him? He's one of the most arrogant men I've ever met. There we are.
FC Eindhoven are 4 years older than that, mate. Get dunked.
If you watch my original FC Eindhoven video, you'll be well aware of the history of the club and the city of Eindhoven. Basically, FC Eindhoven were founded 4 years before PSV, and until the second half of the 1950s, the two clubs contested a bitter and highly competitive rivalry known as the Lichtstad Derby. In 1953-54, which was the final season of Dutch football before the introduction of professionalism, FC Eindhoven won their first and only Dutch championship. Unfortunately, they would be crushed by the rise of professionalism, and just 3 years after winning their first national championship, they finished bottom of the newly formed Eredivisie and were relegated. City rivals PSV, by contrast, through the backing of Philips, PSV literally stands for Philips Sportvereniging, profited immensely from the introduction of professionalism. Philips, which was then headquartered in Eindhoven, became one of Europe's largest employers and most profitable companies during the 1950s, 60s and 70s, allowing PSV to sign some of the best players in the Netherlands and compete with Ajax and Feyenoord, forming what came to be known as the country's Big Three.
You're never more than 10 feet away from a Philips sign in Eindhoven. It doesn't matter what the establishment is. Bars, hotels, strip clubs. I mean, I wouldn't know, but always there.
Interestingly, PSV fans nickname themselves Boeren, which translates as either peasants or farmers, contrasting themselves with the metropolitan clubs and supporters from the Netherlands' Randstad region, home to Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague and Utrecht, the 4 largest Dutch cities. In spite of that fact, when the Lichtstad derby between FC Eindhoven and PSV was at its height, it was FC Eindhoven fans who viewed themselves as being the people's club, representing the city's working class, contrasted with PSV, who were viewed as a more corporate and commercial operation, founded for Philips employees and bankrolled by a multinational megacorporation. Eindhoven is only the 5th largest city in the Netherlands, but thanks to Philips, it is also the smallest city which is home to a European Cup or Champions League winning club, stealing that crown from Nottingham in 1988. Alright, that is your Eindhoven context. Now it's time to head over to the city's biggest club. Sit back, relax, and join me on a journey, quite literally, to the Jan Louvers Stadion.
Right outside the stadium now, the Jan Louvers Stadion. And those red and white bastards can't even let them have the road that the stadium's on. Meanwhile, de Treffers, apparently, seem to think they're the Millwall of the Netherlands. An amateur club, I had to Google. Not sure why no one likes them. Add the context in the comments if any Dutch people are watching. I know the Dutch like their bikes, but that seems excessive. Surely you can get a new one at some point. Sorry? Saying they should get a new bike. Seem to have come to an abandoned Mexican village. Every time I take this camera out my pocket, Ash, there, says, "Here comes another shit joke." So can we just let her know in the comments that I am hilarious? Ash has just asked me for some interesting facts about FC Eindhoven versus Helmond Sport. Isn't that right? What a coincidence, because the viewers were wondering as well. What was it you were saying? You were saying...
You didn't prep me for this.
Why is it such a big game? Yeah, that's right. So basically, it's a local derby for a start. It's only about 20 to 30 minutes to Helmond from Eindhoven. But secondly, and I would argue, and I'm sure you would agree, more interestingly, there is a socio-economic background to the game. Interesting. So basically, Helmond had an industry that was built largely around textile manufacturing, and that was the big sort of economic driver in Helmond for a long time, and it was a successful part of North Brabant region. Then up comes Philips, who you'll know all about, the electronics company, if you watched my video about FC Eindhoven, titled The World's Most Boring Football Club. And Philips quickly became one of the biggest companies in Europe in terms of their workforce, employing mostly people here in Eindhoven, and in terms of profit generating. And as a result, Eindhoven became more wealthy than Helmond. And at the same time, or not that much later, sort of into the 50s, 60s and 70s, when Philips became a real giant of a firm, Helmond, being built around textiles, struggled with things like outsourcing and a lot of textile manufacturing going to other parts of the world, like East Asia and whatnot. Now, there is still a textile industry in Helmond, but it largely caters to sort of higher end and a lot of sort of African garb. Some of it, having done extensive research on this topic, very nice indeed. But as Eindhoven became much more successful, it bred some resentment among the locals and in Helmond, and a rivalry between the two cities, which has extended to the two football clubs. What do you think of that? Yeah, interesting. Can get quite aggressive, actually, as a rivalry, this one.
One eternity later.
In 2011, there was a mass riot when the two teams met. And just last season, FC Eindhoven, I believe on the final day of the season, went to Helmond Sport for what was supposed to be Helmond Sport's last ever game at their old stadium. Now, in the Netherlands, because there is still a minor problem with hooliganism, the KNVB has introduced a rule whereby If a missile is thrown onto the pitch, the game has to be stopped for 10 minutes. Then it's restarted by the referee. And if a second missile is thrown onto the pitch, the game has to be fully abandoned. Now, well aware of this, FC Eindhoven fans deliberately tried to sabotage Helmond Sport's final ever game at their old stadium and have it played behind closed doors. The referee was having none of it, though, and disregarded the rules outlaid by the KNVB and played the game on regardless. And what's more, it ended up not being the last game of the stadium anyway. But that gives you some idea as to the animosity between these two teams and just some of the aggression that we could witness here. Now, what do you think of the FC Eindhoven fans doing that last season, Ash?
They're terrible.
A woman of few words. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how today goes. Are you expecting any missiles today, Ash?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Yes, and wouldn't that be a nice message to spread around the world? No missile. Don't fire any missiles. Now and forever. Peace. Peace and love. What do you mean, oh dear? That is a good, positive message. If you're watching this, Vladimir Putin or Benjamin Netanyahu, please take heed of that powerful message. So this fixture can get a bit tasty then, and I'm told it's unlikely trouble will break out, but not impossible. And I have noticed quite a, not enormous, but a decent police presence for what is a second-tier game on a Friday evening in a stadium with about a 4,500 capacity that is expected to be at its most full all season this evening, but still not entirely full. I'm told they're expecting about 80% of capacity. Incidentally, I booked to come to Eindhoven for this game because, you know, it's their biggest game of the season. I thought I'd give them a fair crack at the whip, you know. If I'm going to call them boring, come to their biggest game. After booking flights and hotels, it transpired that you can't buy tickets for this game. It's only available to club card members. I am not. I'm the last person that they want as an FC Eindhoven member, the man who called them the most boring club in the world. But the club very kindly, I have to say, a huge thank you, gave me 2 tickets for this game, which is the first time I've ever received tickets owing to my line of work. So thank you for that. I mean, that truly is Dutch hospitality. You call a football club the world's most boring football club, and they give you 2 complimentary tickets to the biggest game of the season. You can't say fairer than that, can you? As night falls... What are you laughing at? As night falls, the derby grows ever closer. Some would say we got here too early, but not Ash. She's having a whale of a time. Do you think we should have got here earlier?
It's a bit cold.
A bit cold? She's wearing a down jacket, only wearing a fleece. Honestly. Women.
Oh. Cut that.
That's not very befitting of the wokest person on YouTube, is it? I tell you, second-tier football in the Netherlands, they still have quite fancy-looking advertising hoardings. I know a lot of people were wondering about the advertising hoardings. They're quite advanced, actually. That isn't zooming in, is it? Look at those. Fancy. Nothing boring about those, is there? These guys dancing for the derby. Are you bored? They're not bored. Can't dance and be bored, can you? The Jan Leuven Stadion is one of the only stadiums in the world where you can watch the game while playing table tennis. And if that's not enough of a reason to come, I don't know what to tell you. I think that is the physiotherapist. My Dutch is coming on leaps and bounds since I've arrived. I've only been here a day. The crowds are actually getting quite intense on this. You can tell we're getting closer to kickoff. Turns out the stadium only actually opens an hour before kickoff. So getting here at 4:30 p.m. for an 8 p.m. kickoff might have been overkill. But, you know, I've got a real feel for the area, which you wouldn't get if you'd only got here, say, 3 hours before kickoff. So that's nice. Probably did leave the bar too early though. Could have got in a second espresso martini for good luck, but you know, we move. Ash, do you think they could open a bit earlier and they might bring in more money via the clubhouse, and then they might be able to win a first promotion in 48 years?
Maybe.
A woman of few words. Yeah, no, I just think, you know, get people in. Also, there doesn't seem to be I asked if there was a club shop, and a very friendly bald gentleman said only online, which, you know, fair enough, but... I
think that's probably a stall.
A stall?
Yeah, rather than a shop.
You think it's a stall? Any...
It's not big, is it?
Ash thinks there's a stall. I didn't know she'd done such extensive research, but... There you have it. Apparently there's a stall. I mean, what would I know?
Could be.
I only made a 40-minute viral video about them, but it turns out she's...
Viral my ass.
What do you mean viral my arse? That sounds like a condition. Field hockey going on here. So 2 sports for the price of 1 really if you come to FC Eindhoven. The Dutch, very good at field hockey. That's all I've got on that one. The floodlights are on. The derby is drawing ever closer.
We're doing our 10th lap of the stadium.
The Jan Leuven Stadion is ready to be penetrated. What? Not like that. You see, that bar there is clearly ready to take customers, and yet they won't let us penetrate just yet. Is it the use of the word penetrate? Is that what it... I thought that's what it was. I just mean go inside, that's all it... Some people, eh? Today is a big game because FC Eindhoven and Helmond Sport are big rivals. For the neutral, Helmond Sport are 11th in the Eerste Divisie, and FC Eindhoven are 12th. And in the 4th phase, which is the final phase of the season, because the Eerste Divisie is sort of split up into 4 separate phases or periods. Go back and watch the original video if you want factual stuff. That's not what this channel is about. Basically, in the 4th phase, because the winner of each phase goes automatically into the playoffs, FC Eindhoven are 15th and Helmond Sport are 14th. So they're not doing a great deal to disprove the most boring club in the world, but on all fronts they're neck and neck. There's nothing to split these two teams geographically and in the league table and in the 4th phase, 4th period of the league table. So, you know, predicting this game is an absolute minefield. Luckily, I am joined by Dutch football expert Aisling Vleugelschleimer. Predictions for, what do you reckon score's going to be today? Because we were just saying, weren't we, earlier, the pair of us, nothing to split them, not even a hair's breadth in the league table, either overall or in the 4th phase this season. So, who are you predicting to win, score?
Eindhoven.
Try not to yawn.
Eindhoven.
To win?
1-0.
1-0. Starting to rain now, which I always think is better for football. I think it's not really a true experience unless there's a bit of drizzle. Similar to a lemon cake in that respect. The friendly bald gentleman who told us that there wasn't a club shop is completely incorrect. It turns out there is actually a mega store. And yeah, so he should, well, you never like to see someone lose their job, but he should probably be dismissed. What? No, I'm not saying he...
Shut the shop.
Yeah, the mega store shutting is pissing it down. Okay, so the stadium is now open, but our tickets have been rejected. There is a chance that the club has flown me out to Eindhoven only to reject me because I called them the world's most boring football club. There's a chance. In which case, I will hold my hands up and say, fair play, that's quite a good bit. They've got me there. They've absolutely rumbled me. But on the off chance that that isn't what's happened, we've been directed to ask at the business suite, which I didn't know they had, but that's very nice, isn't it? You know, there's some corporate at FC Eindhoven. We're in. It wasn't a ploy to mug us off. We have fully penetrated the Jan Leuven Stadion. What? I am a half and half wanker. We're in. Well, there's nothing getting past him, is there? Being put through that rigid training. Big game. Even bigger media operations than me here. Definitely got a bigger camera than me. They say it's not the size of the camera though, it's how you use it, is what I've heard. This is the Hellman Sport Manager, and I've just Googled his name because I'm ashamed to say I didn't know the Hellman Sport Manager's name off the top of my head. The man you are looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is Robert Maskant. Briefly played for Motherwell in the 1991-92 season. 12 games. Motherwell fans will remember him well. Motherwell fans of a certain vintage. Previously managed Dynamo Minsk, the Texas Dutch Lions, and he was an assistant manager at Columbus Crew. Undoubtedly a well-travelled man. And a fantastic haircut, if you ask me. Hi. How are you? The most boring mascot in the world. The balance of the FC Eindhoven players is undoubted. Second to none. The best in the Eerste Divisie, if you ask me.
Okay, so this was meant to be a segment about the FC Eindhoven clubhouse and bar, which was an absolute vibe, but unfortunately, unbeknownst to me, I had left the camera in slow motion mode, so it turns out I was just recording myself at about 1% speed with no audio. While you enjoy that, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank FC Eindhoven for inviting me to their home, and their fans, even Henny, for being such good sports. I wish them nothing but the best, and by the best, what I mean, of course, is a couple of failed playoff campaigns. I would say promotion, but there's no point in being unrealistic, is there? In all seriousness, if FC Eindhoven do ever actually win promotion, after half a century plus, I promise to return.
Good news, no one's tried to kick my head in just yet. Few dirty looks, especially from that mascot, but by and large, I'm still in good health. Warm-ups are done. It's 10 minutes to kick off in the biggest game in world football this evening, or at least the biggest in Eindhoven. And it's live. Hellman Sport have taken a very early lead. Less than 5 minutes in. The pocket of Helmond Ultras are going wild. It was a boring goal though, to be honest. Shouldn't even really count.
At this point, some of the locals broke out into a furious chorus of sigh, sigh, which I later discovered means boring in Dutch. They had come to agree with me. I was no longer their enemy, I was a powerful truth teller and their friend. Shortly after this, sadly off camera, one of them asked me if I'd be interested in managing the club. They worshipped me as a god now, but sadly, I had to inform them that I had literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of adoring fans on YouTube who wouldn't know what to do without me, so I couldn't afford to let them down. It was very painful.
The bad news is FC Eindhoven are still losing 1-0. The good news is I haven't bumped into that old age pensioner and she hasn't knocked my teeth out, so you win some, you lose some, don't you? But here come the magical blue and whites. Come on, boys. Boring. It's 1-1. FC Eindhoven have scored a boring goal. Half time in Eindhoven. And it's 1-1. Fun fact for the second half. The FC Eindhoven left back is none other than Colin Seedorf, the nephew of the 4-time Champions League winner, Clarence Seedorf. And that is a free kick in a dangerous area for Helmond Sport and a yellow card. Nothing boring about that fact, was there? 2-1 Helmond Sport. And I don't want to be any more hated than I already am here, but they do deserve it. They have been the better team in the second half. It had been coming. Boring goal though, quite boring, but in swinging corner, headed it in. Again, I don't think they should count unless they're a bit more interesting, but they do, so it's 2-1. Penalty to FC Eindhoven, and it was a penalty. It was a stonewaller. He's cut inside the box. He's been brought down. They're asking for a red card, but it wasn't. Yes! Get in there! We're all square again, it's 1. Well, it's not, it's 2-all. It's 2-all at the Jan Louvers Stadion. Can FC Eindhoven grab a winner, or would that be too interesting? Are they instead going to take the boring option? We'll see. It wasn't to be the climactic ending, and that is full time at the Jan Louvers Stadion. FC Eindhoven have drawn 2-all with Helmond Sport in the biggest game of 2025. What made you support FC Eindhoven as opposed to, I guess, PSV?
No, it's a shit club. No. Growing up here, it's our hometown, so that's what we choose.
Or club for locals more than
mostly locals. Yeah.
But did your family support FC Eindhoven, or was it just something you got into
my
with
family
friends?
was spread everywhere. VV Venlo, Ajax, PSV. But I'm a big Eindhoven fan. Yeah.
But since you were young, or when did you get into following?
Yeah.
And is it enjoyable following Eindhoven? Would it be different?
Sometimes.
Would you enjoy it if they won promotion to the Eredivisie, or is it almost more enjoyable being in the?
No, the Eredivisie would be way more enjoyable.
A dream.
But also the fight between PSV and FC Eindhoven, that would be insane.
Want to bring that back rather than.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's the one we're looking for. Yeah.
And I know there's some idiot YouTuber who called FC Eindhoven the world's most boring club.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, so what a clown that guy. So that was me. That was my video.
It you?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's boring?
So basically,
wait. He's a big man. You called it boring, but still you came back.
Yeah.
So you liked it.
Yeah. Well, so basically, the title of the video originally was the club that never gets promoted or relegated, because it's 47 years. And then I changed the title to the world's most boring club because not enough people were watching it. So. But I had to come and check it out for myself.
What do you think?
So I thought I'd come to the biggest game, the biggest derby of the season. I enjoyed it, yeah, it was good. Great seats around the halfway line. And I was going to go to PSV tomorrow against Ajax, but I'm not going because the tickets were really expensive. So I'm just going to FC Eindhoven. But yeah, I heard there was a big reaction to that video.
Yeah, there was. He's a big man.
He knows everything about FC Eindhoven.
Everything about
Come in. What made you support FC Eindhoven then in the first place?
Nothing.
Nothing? Do you support FC Eindhoven?
Yes.
You do? Okay. But for no reason, just no good reason.
The local club, eh?
It's a local club and we are PSV supporters, but sometimes we fight over.
Okay, you support both. Yeah, I think I said in my video that's more common among younger people where there's never really been the sense of rivalry that.
You have a channel for the most boring club.
Yeah.
It's funny, you should. I mean, see the George, they're onto us!
Let's get out of here.
Most boring club.
That's me.
That's true.
Yeah, I heard I saw there was a big banner that some FC Eindhoven fans made saying "World's Most Boring Club," and some people said that they made stickers that they put around town saying embracing the nickname.
A lot of guys were like, "Nah, it's our club. We like it, so it's."
Yeah. So wait, are you a PSV fan too? Yeah.
Mostly.
You support both.
Yeah. It's the city we support.
If FC Eindhoven won promotion to the Eredivisie,
We fuck Eindhoven.
you'd support.
PSV.
You would. Oh, okay.
They are shit fans. Obviously, yeah.
So wait, are you a PSV fan too? Is anyone here an FC Eindhoven fan?
I'm not sure.
Is there anyone in this stadium?
I'm not sure. Everyone is PSV fan.
No, he's a big fan.
So are you going tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
Sunday
It's Ajax
against
game.
at home against Ajax.
I was going to go, but tickets were quite expensive.
I think
It's the most important game of the year. So that's
I think we're gonna fuck Ajax.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna fuck Nuri.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Ajax are what? 6 points ahead.
4 points.
4 points.
Six.
Okay.
But when we win, it's free.
It was only now that I realised something magical had happened. The locals had accepted me as one of their own. It didn't matter that they were actually primarily PSV fans, and FC Eindhoven was only their second club, or that PSV were about to lose 2-0 at home against Ajax, and with it, surely this season's Eredivisie title, crushing their hearts into tiny little pieces. In the outside area of a ramshackle clubhouse which starkly resembled a UK village hall, like one atom of boron and one of fluorine, an unbreakable bond had been forged. That night, we all hit up Stratum Signed, the longest street of pubs, bars and clubs in the whole of the Netherlands, and I ate chicken wings that could only be described as being of a standard that only an extremely drunk person would find acceptable. I've only just recovered. I discovered that Eindhoven has another nickname. It's not just Lichtstad, or Light City, inspired by Philips' first product being the light bulb, but among the locals, it is also the most fun city in the Netherlands, owing to the city's nightlife, which punches well above its weight. My next stop was Amsterdam, before flying home, and whilst Amsterdam is one of the world's great cities, it has the Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, the Royal Palace, the Red Light District, apparently, and Vondel Park, but Eindhoven has my heart. As my newfound friends for life and I crammed onto the bus from the Jan Louvers Stadion to Eindhoven Strandum Signed, I could only hope that the Dutch chant that they were singing, which I couldn't understand, wasn't racist, and that I hadn't accidentally befriended some members of the PVV Youth League. I hope not, they seemed alright. Well, I am home. Couldn't stay in Eindhoven forever. Not at least since we've left the EU. It would require a series of red tape. But the plan was never to move there, so an unusual opening to this end screen. Well, I'm back home from the Netherlands, back in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, of course. A day later than anticipated, because my flight home was cancelled, unfortunately. The moral of the story being never underestimate the power of a second division Dutch football team. It would seem that they have the power of the skies and are willing to sabotage aeroplanes if you call them the world's most boring football club. Apparently the plane was not fit for takeoff or landing, one of the two. They're the main bits, aren't they? The bit in the middle's plain sailing, really, isn't it? They've had the last laugh, haven't they, really, FC Eindhoven? Mugged me right off. But yeah, so had to stay an extra night, had to pay for an extra night in a hotel, another evening meal, you can't go hungry, and missed half a day of work.
So currently locked in a battle with KLM to be reimbursed for the inconvenience and additional costs incurred. But that segue brings me beautifully to the fact that I have recently launched channel memberships here on the Alfie Potsdamer YouTube channel. So if you are a mega fan of me and there are people, I don't know why you're laughing, of the channel and of me, you can now become a member either here on YouTube. There should be a join button on this video or on my channel page, either or, all over the place. It's huge. You'll probably just stumble across it on the street. Or you can become a member on buymeacoffee.com/Alfie Potsdamer. There are 3 tiers. There is the Freddie Adu tier, your chance to be with rather than without Freddie Adu. The Duncan Watmore tier, get a bit more with that one. It's not the best pun, is it? But we'll run with it. And then there is the David Bentley LaSala, or alternatively the Oligarch tier, which is, only for real high rollers, billionaires, oligarchs, despots, that sort of thing. So check those out. You can join as a member either here on YouTube or on buymeacoffee.com/Alfie Potsdamer. The only difference being on there you can make a one-off donation as opposed to becoming a member. If you'd rather not make a commitment like that. Commitment scares some people. You can also, if you do it over there, I get a little bit more because Google don't take 30%, which they do here on YouTube. But if you'd rather keep it all on YouTube, there is the option. It's an either or. If you become a YouTube member, you get you get a lot. You get a sticker next to your name when you comment. The stickers can include Freddie Adu, Phil Brown, Ian Wright. There's all sorts, really. It's a bargain. You also get your own exclusive Alfie Potsdamer emojis, which only members can use. So I would be surprised if there weren't quite a lot of people signing up. I'm jesting, they're not the best perks, but the main purpose is just to support me making the videos. All of the money will be ring-fenced for me making videos for this channel, like the one you watched today, or better ones if you didn't enjoy this one. So basically, if you want to see more videos, better videos, I have a few projects lined up that are a bit more ambitious, and in a couple of cases, a bit more dangerous maybe. So if you'd like to see them be made and me put in danger, feel free to check it out. Or don't. The videos will still be uploaded and free to watch. It's just an option if you want to support my work and have your own stickers. So check those out here on YouTube, like I say, or on buymeacoffee.com/Alfie Potsdamer if you're interested. And if you're not, don't. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And of course, make sure that you're subscribed and preferably a member of the Alfie Potsdamer YouTube channel. Cheers, and have a great day. Don't use that, definitely don't use that. That's rubbish.